Most dogs don't feel most loved when we're petting them. That idea can feel uncomfortable, especially when affection is how we express care. But dogs read safety, trust, and belonging through signals most people never learn to notice. What feels kind to us can sometimes feel confusing to them. As we move through this video, you'll discover what dogs quietly respond to on a much deeper level. If you want to keep exploring that connection together, a like and subscribe helps us continue. Number 1. Letting dogs claim you through physical contact. What if that quiet lean against your leg isn't affection at all, but something much deeper? When your dog presses their weight into you or rests a paw on your foot, they're not asking for attention in the way we usually imagine. They're placing themselves inside your space on purpose, testing whether it's safe to belong there. To a dog, touch like this isn't casual. It's a declaration of family. When you stay present in that moment, you're confirming that bond without words. When you pull away quickly or brush it off, the message can land differently than you intend. And once you notice how carefully they choose these moments, you start to wonder how many other signals are just as quiet. Number 2. Respecting close presence without physical contact. It can feel strange to realize that sometimes love looks like doing nothing at all. Your dog following you from room to room, then settling nearby without asking for touch, isn't being distant or unsure. They're choosing closeness on their own terms, which is how safety often begins for them. When that calm presence goes uninterrupted, it tells them they don't need to perform or seek reassurance to belong. Reaching out constantly can unintentionally break that sense of ease. Letting them decide if and when contact happens shows a different kind of attentiveness. And in those quiet stretches where nothing seems to be happening, something important is forming beneath the surface, shaping how confident they feel around you. Number 3. Letting dogs win during play. If play is supposed to be fun, why does it sometimes leave your dog restless instead of satisfied? When your dog tugs, chases, or pounces, they're stepping into instincts that once had real purpose. If every game ends with them losing, that effort never gets resolution. Letting them win isn't about spoiling or giving up control. It's about allowing the story to finish. The moment they succeed, their body relaxes in a way no command can create. Confidence settles in quietly, and when that confidence grows, play stops being just movement and becomes trust in motion. From there, you start to see how much your dog is looking for signals that they're capable, not just entertained. Number 4. Creating layered spaces for observation and rest. Have you noticed how your dog seems calmer when they can see the room without being in the middle of it? Dogs don't relax simply because they're comfortable. They relax when they feel oriented. A spot with a view, a raised edge of a couch, or a corner that faces a doorway gives them context. From there, they can watch without worrying about surprises. It's a quiet role, but it matters to them. When they don't have places like this, their body stays slightly alert, as if something important is unfinished. Providing these small vantage points doesn't change their personality, but it changes how safe they feel inside their space. And once that sense of safety settles in, it often reshapes how they choose to be near you. Number 5. Offering multiple sleeping location choices. It's easy to assume your dog has one favorite place to sleep, but their choice is rarely random. Where your dog settles is often a reflection of how they feel in that moment. Some days they want closeness, other days they want distance, warmth, or a clear view of the room. Having options lets them respond to those shifting needs without stress. When a dog can decide where to rest, they're regulating themselves in a way we don't always notice. That quiet autonomy builds confidence. Over time, you may see them move less restlessly and settle more fully. And as they learn their preferences are respected, it subtly influences how secure they feel during the rest of the day, not just at night. Number 6. Morning greeting rituals. The way you acknowledge your dog at the start of the day carries more weight than it seems. Dogs are deeply attuned to patterns, especially after periods of separation, like sleep. A familiar greeting, even a small one, reassures them that everything is intact. When that moment is rushed or missing, something feels off to them, even if they can't show it clearly. A consistent morning exchange becomes an emotional anchor, setting the tone for how safe the day feels. It doesn't need enthusiasm or length, just presence. And once you realize how much dogs rely on these quiet beginnings, it naturally raises a question about how they experience the moments when the day comes to a close. Number 7. End-of-day closure rituals. Most dogs don't struggle with sleep itself, but with the feeling that the day ended without explanation. As evening settles in, your dog is still tracking energy, movement, and emotional tone. When everything suddenly stops, they're left to guess whether things are finished or just paused. A gentle, predictable signal that the day is winding down helps their body release that question. It might be a familiar phrase, a quiet check-in, or simply sitting together in stillness. These moments don't excite them, they settle them. Over time, your dog begins to trust that rest is safe and that nothing important is being missed. And once that trust forms at night, it often carries into how they handle being alone during the day. Number 8. Letting dogs sleep with something that smells like you. It's surprising how much comfort can come from something as simple as a worn piece of clothing. Your scent isn't just familiar to your dog, it's grounding. When they curl up near it, their breathing slows, and their body softens in a way that goes beyond physical comfort. Smell is how dogs track presence, safety, and continuity. Having access to your scent when you're gone helps bridge the gap between togetherness and separation. It reassures them that the bond isn't fragile or temporary. Over time, this kind of sensory reassurance can reduce restlessness and quiet anxiety you might not even notice. And it opens the door to understanding how deeply dogs respond to subtle, wordless signals from you. Number 9. Silent eye softening ritual. When your dog looks at you from across the room, what do you think they're really checking for? That brief glance isn't always about attention. Often, it's a moment of emotional calibration. Dogs are sensitive to the tension in your face, your breath, and your stillness. When your gaze softens and your body relaxes, they read it as permission to do the same. Slowly looking away after that exchange signals trust rather than avoidance. It's a quiet conversation that happens without sound or movement. As this becomes familiar, your dog starts to mirror your calm more easily, and that shared regulation gently reshapes how safe they feel simply being in your presence. Number 10. Respecting bathroom privacy. It's easy to forget how exposed your dog feels in moments that seem routine to you. When your dog is eliminating, their body is focused on something that once carried real risk. In that state, being watched, rushed, or distracted can register as pressure rather than support. Even gentle encouragement can feel like urgency when they're already vulnerable. Giving them space communicates trust in a very direct way. A calm, predictable environment allows them to finish without tension lingering in their body. Over time, that sense of safety doesn't stay confined to that moment. It quietly expands into how secure they feel around you in general, especially during situations where they don't fully understand what's happening. 11. Simulating early life grooming with a damp brush. There's a reason some dogs melt the moment a gentle brush touches their face. That reaction isn't about grooming or cleanliness. It reaches back to one of the earliest forms of comfort they ever knew. Slow, rhythmic strokes with a slightly damp brush can echo the sensation of a mother caring for her pups. For dogs who missed that or experienced touch inconsistently, this can feel unexpectedly emotional. The key isn't technique, but patience and attention to their response. When they lean in or soften their eyes, something instinctive is being restored. In those moments, trust isn't taught or earned, it's remembered, and your dog feels it through you. Sometimes what stays with you isn't a new trick or habit, but the quiet realization that your dog has been speaking to you all along. If any of this felt familiar, it's because the care you already give matters more than you probably realize, even in the moments you don't think count. The bond you share isn't built on effort or perfection, but on how safe and understood your dog feels in your presence. As you move through your days together, those small, easily missed moments can start to feel a little louder, a little more meaningful. And once you begin noticing how much dogs communicate without words, even the behaviors that once seemed awkward or confusing start to look different. There's one instinctive habit dogs have that's deeply misunderstood, and it actually says more about trust and information than embarrassment. If you're curious about that side of your dog's world, staying here for the next story might change how you see them again.